Midnight Fight Express is an indie title published through Humble Games that was created by one man. Yes, I said it, one man. His name is Jacob Dzwinel, and for today, you know I'm rocking with the PlayStation 4 version, so let's get into it. Midnight Fight Express tells the tale of a man by the name of Babyface who is captured by the cops Agent Smithman and Agent McClune. Apparently he is accused of committing a whole bunch of crimes and is allegedly instrumental as to why the city seems like it's going straight to hell. You pretty much have all the gangs, crews, lowlifes, and every type of despicable person in normal society would deem a threat pretty much being out on the loose. It's almost apocalyptic as one may assume. While held captive, the two agents interrogate Babyface, and for him to clear his name and put things into context, he has to recall all of the events that led to him being within his current position. So as the player would then take him back into the past where he and this drone that accompanies him by the name of Droney go on their misadventures to learn about Babyface's past and track down the culprit behind all of this. This game is remarkably detailed within presenting its 3D models inside of this isometric perspective. The levels are beautiful and it took me a moment to grasp everything that was going on the screen. It would be one thing if things were just stationary, but everything is jam-packed with life into it. But not only that, the ample amount of pop culture references displayed within the names and character designs made me laugh. Speaking of character models, they seem to be very cartoony, but what they do in this game is way beyond PG-13. I don't know what it is about violent beat-em-ups, but there seems to be a mandatory inclusion to at least have one level that has pigs, debauchery, and leather. Oh, and what you're seeing on the screen is a level from another indie title called Mother Russia Bleeds. So just so that I'm not careful to spoil anything within this game, I seemingly spoiled a level within another game. Great. Shameless plug. You can watch the review for that game here. But did I mention the violence? Anything that you can think of to practically kill off a person via weapons, explosives, and hand-to-hand combat will more than likely be present and accounted for here. Mix that in with some wackiness here and there and you have a game with dark humor that doesn't really need to take itself too seriously. When it comes to the combat, I kept thinking that Michael J. White himself did the motion capture, slamming people into the ground, walls, and other stuff, but nope. It was actually done by this guy named Eric Jacobs who did the motion capture for the characters. He even makes an appearance within the game. Fun fact, Eric Jacobs did the motion captures for other games as well, notably the choreography for Mortal Kombat games in both of those God of War reboots, along with being either the stuntman or stunt choreographer for a lot of films, some in which he acted and some he actually directed. The visuals and cinematics seamlessly go right into the gameplay, never allowing a break within the player's immersion. The detailed level designs where items can be found via recognizable visual cues made things easier for the player to get a hold of things, and when dealing out pain, the blood and explosions are just superb. Also, I love the way that when you hit somebody, one clear sign of an opponent being finished or taking serious damage can be seen within the semi-X-ray look. But all in all, Midnight Fight Express ran smoothly and is truly the epitome of an action flick never slowing down for a second. Midnight Fight Express is a beat 'em up which will have the player taking out enemies in order to progress to the next stage. What I love about this game is the freedom and how stylistically you can go about doing it. The player starts off with just simple movement consisting of running and diving to get out of the range of attacks coming from your enemies. But then you get into offensive maneuvers like punching people, learning how to use weapons that can come across various assortments of blunt objects, guns, parrying and countering, which can be done with the right timing, opening your opponents up to a whole lot of punishment. And last but not least, my favorite, finishers. All of these different gaming mechanics are structured and utilized in a way that is very familiar to the Batman Arkham franchise, with elements that I've seen within that Sifu game as well. I did a review on that title and you can check it out if you want to. Links will be in the description below if you want to see it. But to better explain it, let me go a little bit more in depth. So once you unlock specific or rather basic skill known as finishers, you can pull them off by simply hitting the correct button after this bar above the opponent's heads go down. And really, this game kinda looks like those stack bars in Sifu. Once this requirement is filled, you can pull off a semi-cinematic and often brutal finisher. Or you can just simply ignore this prompt altogether and just beat them to death. Either way, as long as you're alive and they're dead, you're all good. While we're still on combat, I mentioned weapons. Now these are the single most dangerous things to be aware of, but more specifically the guns. These firearms can be the reason why your life will abruptly end. Handguns could cause quite a concern for damage, but magnums, shotguns, and grenade launchers, when you see an opponent bust out one of these, it'll be within your best interest to ballerina your way over to them quickly to either take them out or disarm them before they air out a clip. Please keep this in mind. Other than the combat, familiarizing yourself with the UI on the screen is very important. So you have your health bar, which is located here, and if that goes out, you'll have to restart the portion of the stage that you died last, which is very forgiving since you don't have to redo the whole entire level. Next is this blue bar, which is kind of like your focus. This can scan the area for interactive things that you can throw, pick up, or use as a weapon. Also, if you're lost, this yellow dot will point you in the right direction after your drone companion shuts up from talking all the time. And throughout my playthrough, there will be about at least 40 something levels. Each of them are short and will probably take less than 10 minutes in order to complete. After each level completion, the player is awarded with points and money that can be used back at the main menu to custom design your character, but more importantly to upgrade your abilities to make yourself more of a dangerous walking force in nature. You can also pick up more skill points by picking up gold teeth, and which you can get by knocking people out during missions. But back at the main menu, once you get your new skill, you can go ahead and hit up that practice arena where the player has full control over everything, from spawning enemies in, making them active, spawning weapons, and etc. Lastly, at the main menu, you can of course select the stage that you will want to play again, or try your hand at making a better score, obtaining more gold teeth, or just completing goals. This is something that I would highly recommend because the more you do this, well, you'll be able to unlock a whole lot of other goodies that you can use to your disposal. The only two criticisms that I have towards this game is that sometimes your character may not move as fast and accurately as you would want them to at times. This was definitely brought to my attention when I reached this stage when certain enemy types was introduced later on in the game. You see, these enemies will run up on you and have you locked within a certain animation until you die. This became very infuriating, but it was just for that stage though. Other than these two minor things, this game was definitely fun. It had me laughing and turned out to be more fast paced than I initially thought. I mean, just from looking at the trailers. At first, I was just hitting that punch button like it was no tomorrow, but then when I unlocked more abilities, this game made sure that I would have to utilize them due to the fact that damn near every level was introducing a new enemy type, and really with each new enemy type came with specific ways in order for you to take them down. This made the gameplay very engaging. The sound design for Midnight Fight Express was splendid. Breaking necks, throwing chairs, bashing people with objects, explosions, and of course shooting people all correspond with what is happening on the screen. Whenever an attack landed on an opponent, you can hear it and feel it, not only by its impact but also by the screams that will be a direct result of such. Each gun sounds differently, from the punchy handguns to the decisive shotguns and even down to the cadence of automatic weapons. Yeah, the sound design is awesome. The music was done by Noise Cream, whose real name is Dmitry Ruetsky according to my research. He not only has done work for Midnight Fight Express, but has also done work for another indie title called My Friend Pedro. So within this soundtrack, expect to hear a whole lot of heavy, hard-hitting bass and drum with electric synths. One of my favorite songs off the OST is called Hit the Floor, and it's just, well, yes. If you throw this on at a rave party or when you just driving, it'll kinda influence you to do something badass. Another one of my favorite songs is called Hatred, where in the beginning, the drummer just comes in like a bat out of hell, and then, the song just goes to work. Nothing on this soundtrack is what I would consider soft or easy listening. Actually, it'll probably punch whoever in the face for thinking that. The music is foreboding, dark, and adds perfectly to the atmosphere in which Midnight Fight Express tries to provide. I'll post links in the description below where you can pick up a copy for yourself. Midnight Fight Express is addictive as hell to play, to the point where by the end, all I wanted to do was just see more of it, and seeing as though how it ended, it might be a reality. For anybody that's into a streamlined, straight to the point beat 'em up with a bit of humor and action, this title is for you. It's violent and continuously gets more ridiculous the deeper you get into the story, and even switches things up here and there in terms of gameplay. You can pick up a copy for yourself, which is now available for the Nintendo Switch, Steam for PC, Xbox One and Series S and X for $20, which for what you get for your money is a steal. I will include links below in the description where you can get a copy yourself. Also, if you like this game, I would recommend you checking out another indie title that goes by the name of Speed Limit. It's kinda like Midnight in terms of action, but it's shorter and primarily a retro shooter, but just like Midnight, it evolves into something a little bit different by the end of the game. I did a review on this title and the link will be in the description below if you want to check it out. But until next time, be safe out there, and peace y'all.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit up that notification bell, and I gotta go.